You are walking down a busy street, late one afternoon. A person just ahead of you seems to be in a great hurry. They rush past. A brand new smartphone slips from their pocket and clatters onto the pavement. You stoop to retrieve it, its smooth glass cool against your fingertips. An impulse arises, a clear thought forming in your mind. Keep it. You feel no flicker of guilt, no social anxiety, only a calm sense of opportunity. You slip the phone into your own pocket and continue walking. Later, you remember you took an experimental drug that morning. It was designed to suppress feelings of empathy. How can a physical substance so effectively rewrite a person's decision-making process? The answer lies in the brain's complex network of chemical messengers, known as neurotransmitters. These molecules, such as dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, regulate everything from our heart rate to our most profound emotions. Dopamine, for instance, is heavily involved in the brain's reward system. It creates feelings of pleasure and reinforces behaviors the brain deems beneficial for survival, like eating, social bonding. Many addictive drugs hijack this very system, causing a massive flood of dopamine that dwarfs the rewards of normal life. This chemical surge can effectively rewire a person's priorities, making pursuit of the drug the most important goal above all others. Consider a concrete example. A person prescribed opioid painkillers after a major surgery may find pain dulled and a powerful euphoria. Over time, their brain chemistry begins to change. The brain reduces its own natural production and becomes dependent on the external supply. Soon, avoiding withdrawal, combined with craving for euphoria, can overwhelm all other considerations. With benzodiazepines, lowered inhibition can impair judgment and invite risky behaviors. When a crime is committed, the legal system must determine culpability. The law typically operates on the principle of mens rea, or guilty mind. To be found guilty of most serious crimes, one must commit the act and possess a certain mental state. Intend it or know it was wrong. Intoxication complicates this framework. Voluntary use is often treated as reckless. Consequences remain your responsibility. But involuntary intoxication, drugged without consent, may negate the guilty mind. The chemical's influence usurps rational choice. Where do we draw the line with addiction? Friends and families judge by character, not statutes, and emotions clash with legal categories. Law seeks order and predictable consequences, clear responsibility. Morality wrestles with compassion, forgiveness, and human limits. The law may declare someone responsible, yet our moral intuition says the story is more complicated and blame less useful than we think. The relationship between chemistry and choice is illuminated by modern treatments. Medicine has developed interventions that directly target the neural pathways of desire. Drugs like naltrexone, used for opioid addiction and alcohol use disorder, block opioid receptors, dulling the expected rush. The act may occur, but the anticipated chemical payoff is absent, disarming reinforcement at the neurological level. In gambling, the urge can still arise by habit, but the compelling craving is blunted. The medicine doesn't force a stop. It changes the internal calculus, giving goals and reason a chance to win. If a pill quiets compulsion, desire is a neurochemical event, not proof of weak will, but a dysregulated circuit. Blockers work best with therapy and support, turning down cravings' volume while people learn to live in the newfound quiet. The existence of drugs that induce or suppress behavior brings us to a monumental question. Is free will an illusion? Determinism says our thoughts, choices, actions are outcomes of a causal chain from the Big Bang to the atoms in our brains now. In this view, chemistry determines the choice. Consciousness notices and takes credit afterward. It seems to drain meaning from achievement and moral weight from choices, challenging praise, blame, and justice. Compatibilism argues we act freely when actions align with our conscious desires and aren't coerced, even if desires have causes. It distinguishes internal character and values from external hijackers, like a coercive drug, that override the self. You're still the driver on an icy road, making choices, though conditions make good outcomes harder. Thus, responsibility can coexist with biology's influence. Ultimately, the debate over chemistry and choice forces us to confront the mystery of our own identity. We are left with interlocking questions. If a drug can change your moral choices, your morality is contingent on brain state. But where in that physical state does the you reside? Is the resistor the real you, or the one who gives in a chemically altered imposter, or both equally you under different conditions? The idea of a stable, unchanging self can look less like bedrock and more like shifting sands. Accepting chemistry's power nudges us toward compassion and pragmatism, less retribution, more mitigation and rehabilitation. If behavior is driven by a treatable imbalance, the humane response is to treat the condition without abandoning accountability. We may not control which urges arise, but we can shape actions and environments, and choose to seek help. When you make a choice you are proud of, was that you or your brain chemistry working as it should? Wait.